Hello guys, MG back with another World of Tanks replays video, and today I'm going to have 3 replays for you. All of them are going to be tier 8 heavy tanks, starting off with the British tier 8 Carnarvon, and this was from 8.6, so there are going to be some issues with it. The only one I've really noticed so far is the fact that the terrain doesn't match up, so the tanks appear to be in the ground. I'm still going to show this replay because it was a really good game. Shows just how good the Carnarvon can be in a variety of situations, but let's start this off here. And it started off, I decided to go up north on the map highway here, and I noticed that an awful lot of the enemy tanks decided to go into the town over that way. But I figured it wouldn't be too big of an issue. You can see the little bugs in the replay system here with, you know, this map was remade from patch 8.6 to 8.7, so the terrain isn't quite where it was. And I saw this Pershing here and I figured to try and shoot at him. I didn't go where the rest of my team did because I figured I'd get shots into the side of the enemy maybe. You know, I'd be harder to spot over here and by myself, behind bushes. And you know, I killed that Pershing there with a nice shot. And this just, it shows the accuracy of this British gun. They are very, very accurate. I figured to not keep shooting at that AT-7 because I didn't quite have side shots on him. Not sure how that bounced off the Tiger. It must have had a really tough angle on the side because Tigers do not have good armor. And as you can see, my team is kind of focusing on that Tiger now. Take a blind shot there, hoping I'd get lucky. So other than the weird terrain thing, I haven't noticed any other issues with this replay yet. And it's kind of funny that my tank's just half in the ground. I have a couple of other replays from 8.6 that I'm going to see if I can record. One of them I already know that I can, and that will be later on in this video actually. But otherwise most of my replays will come from patch 8.7. There were a couple of replays I wanted to show you, including an amazing match in my Type 59 that I did over 4,000 damage, and it was just one of the best matches I've ever had in that tank, and I can't play it because it was from 8.6. I tried to download 8.6 onto my computer, but it wasn't working. But in the future I will copy over my World of Tanks file before the next update, so I will have 8.7 and can record any replays I want from that. But, you know, that's something I wish Wargaming would change, is that you could still view old replays, because it seems pretty ridiculous that you can't. I mean, in certain circumstances, you know, with a remade map, yeah, but, you know, if they still kept the old version, you know, once, or the capability to record replays from one version previously, that would be a big improvement. That's all I would need to be able to get my replays recorded, because I want to record, you know, my oldest replays first, so they're gone, they're done. Sometimes that changes and I'll record a newer replay, but for the most part, older replays first. As you can see there, you know, when I played this match, that hill wasn't quite so high, so I could actually see and hit that IS. But obviously with the update of 8.7, they raised that ridge, and so it doesn't quite look right. It looks like I'm shooting through the hill. No hacks here, I promise you that. World of Tanks, really, there's not many hacks, you know? It's hard to say. Sometimes it seems like someone must be hacking, but it just doesn't, you know, it doesn't seem like you can definitely say that someone hacked very often. So now I'm wondering if I was really in a good position here. You know, there was that IS, the Tiger, that Cromwell's going back towards the base. I know that Cromwell's going to Brick Wall him, but I can't see him right now. Now I can see him. And I have a T-69 autoloader. That's no fun. Decided to turn my turret towards the T-69 because he got me really low on health here. But I do get that shot into him, and he's backing up. I figured, okay, I need to finish off this comet now because he's capping. But I can't actually hit him from where I'm at, and this IS has reappeared now. Now he is possible for me to one-shot him. Once again, in patch 8.7, that building was just introduced in patch 8.7, so when I did this replay, it wasn't there. And now I know, okay, I really need to get rid of that comet, but I can't spot him. And I'm hoping that Artie can manage to do something. In this T-69, I figured I'm dead here, because he can definitely pen me, but I just keep moving my turret back, or not my turret, my hull back and forth so that it's always angled, and the angle is changing. It can be good and bad. In that case it worked out. As you can see, the artillery also managed to kill that comet, which was very useful. So I'm at 4 kills, did 3,000 damage, and well, there's only 2 enemy tanks left, and one of them is artillery. Now I know this IS is somewhere over here. I'm not sure if he's decided to move more towards my base, or if he's still, you know, right in front of me. And now he could easily probably flanked me, killed me here. I am one shot for him, obviously. You know, that would be no issue for him. So I peek over the ridge, I spot him, and it looks like he might have been looking at me, but then turned his turret. I really have no idea what he was doing there, but ended up with 5 kills, just over 3,000 damage. It was a very good game in my Karn. Now I'm going to get the next replay for you. Okay, this is the second replay I have for you today in my T-34, and I was happy with this match. Initially I was using XVM with this replay, and it gave me a pretty good % chance of winning, and it definitely looked like we had the better players on our team. Now, I'm still not too familiar with, you know, good strategies on this map for encounter mode. It seems like not many other people are either yet, though. I've only seen it a handful of times so far. So initially I decided I'll go south and try and snipe anyone that goes in the cap. And, well, a lot of people had that idea on my team. As you can see, there's just a ton of friendly tanks all going in the same way. We only have 3 tanks covering the other side, and only one of those is a tier 8, which happens to be a super Pershing, which not the best tier 8, not something that can really hold off an entire side of the map by itself. So I got to here, and then I figured there's too, you know, we don't have many tanks over there. We have a lot of tanks over here. Even if I stay over here, probably won't get kills. I'll be lucky to get shots. So I still, at this point, I'm still going with it, figuring, well, I can always look over here and snipe from over here. And this is where I start to do that. I see that VK, and I'm trying to get a shot in on him, but he hides back behind the hill. So now I figure, well, I'll keep moving up and shoot at him when I can. But it's pretty soon here where I decide to go back, I think. You know, in a situation like this, you know, that was an unlucky bounce, but in a situation like this, it's kind of a gamble. Because my entire team went towards the cap. It's possible their entire team went towards the cap. It's also possible their entire team went the other direction and went more north along that hill. In which case, even if I go to help, the 4 of us aren't really going to be able to stop them. So I figure, okay, I'll go back a bit, but I'm not going to go all the way back, because going up on that hill for me isn't really the best place to be. You know, T-34 is a big, heavy tank, so it's a big target. It's got tons of good turret armor. You know, it's not super slow, but it's not really fast either. what, the best part about it is its gun, which can really dish out some damage. But, its gun's got a pretty long reload time. And, it does have good hull armor, so fighting close, it's not a brawling tank. So I don't really want to be up on that hill where I'd be close to the enemy. Could I have possibly went up there and went hull down? Yeah, possibly, but I'd also likely have been flanked. And the hull armor is just so bad on this thing, tier 6s can pen it, so that's not really what I want to be doing. Now, what I'm concerned about here is the fact that even with all the teammates I have watching the cap, they've got no one spotting the cap. So I'm thinking, are we going to lose by capping? But we do have a T69 player that ends up being pretty good. Goes in and gets into the cap to stop it, and is also, by doing that, spotting the enemy tanks that are around the cap for the rest of our team. Now at this point, yeah, only one of those initial 3 that were holding this hill are left, and he's been pushed back quite a way, so I'm thinking I need to reposition here a bit into a slightly better position. So all I do is move to the other side of the rock, because it allows me to focus more easily on one side. I can shoot at tanks that are on the hill without really worrying about getting hit from tanks that are on the one line. On this rock, when you're on this end of the map, even if it's a standard battle, this rock is actually a pretty good position. Now in a standard battle you have the problem of actually getting here before you get shot, because your team, or the enemy team, is probably going to already be on that hill and watching this area. So now I see that the Karn is on lower health, so he's going to be the better target to shoot at. Now he's a one-shot kill for me, and I finish him off, and I did it in a way where I didn't have to worry about that super pushing up on the hill, that Centurion I know that is over there, or anything else. And at this point, my team is also doing good work on the other end of the map, and it seems like most of the enemy tanks that are left are on this side. So I see T-34 might be able to one-shot him, not quite, and the super Pershing that's taken a hit. So now a T-34 on only 8 health. I'm thinking, do I even want to waste the shot on this, or just let my teammates take him out? But a kill is a kill, even though I didn't get that one. So I did end up wasting a shot, which is unfortunate. And now the super Pershing can somehow shoot at me. I'm not sure how. All he can do is track me. The low is trying to go around through the river, but there's just too many of our teammates that can shoot at him over there. So now I see that all 3 enemy tanks that are left were spotted on this half of the map. And one of them's just been spotted right now. So I'm thinking super Pershing, tough armor, bounce that shot. From this range, T-34's got a fairly accurate gun, not great accuracy. I think it's 0.34 or 0.35 or about right there. So it's not quite accurate enough for at that range to be able to hit that little weak spot in the turret. That shot certainly looked like it shouldn't have missed the T-25 AT, but one way or another he's in a bad position. The super Pershing's moving up into a bad position now too. I decide I'll go after the T-25. Because he's hit me, he's annoying me, and that super Pershing's suiciding anyways. Well, actually both of them are kind of suiciding now. But now, instead of exposing myself to more fire, I'll just take out the super Pershing. Our own T-25 AT took out their T-25, and all that's left is a Tiger P. And at that point we capped. The Tiger P survived. I think earlier in the game it showed he was only on 20 hit points. But anyways, that was that for that replay, and I'm going to get one more for this video. Okay guys, here we are at the loading screen for my third and final replay. This is actually the only replay in this video that is actually in 8.7. And if I remember this game right, I ended up doing pretty well. There's a couple of points I want to point out, strategies I want to point out later on in this replay. But for now we'll speed things up a bit to get through the countdown and until we get into position here. This is one of the maps where a lot of times teams don't necessarily go where they should. And you know, you can't leave the cap, but you also have to go through the forest. And sometimes going through the forest is better. Because in my experience, you don't need all that many tanks to hold the cap because it is so exposed. Let me just make sure we're in 1 times. Yeah, we are in 1 times. So it starts off here, get on top of the hill here into my position that I want to be in. I'm figuring I can go hull down in this area pretty quickly on. You know, we had an ELC that went on a kind of suicide run, which wasn't the greatest. As you can see there, I was hoping to get that kill with the 350 damage kill, but it ended up only being a 47 damage kill. But that's the point I want to bring up. Go for the lower health target, even if that target is on 10 hit points, because you're getting rid of a gun. And that's the thing. A tank with 10 hit points left can still hurt your team. A tank with no hit points left, they can't hurt your team at all. So that's what you should do. Don't focus too much on going for damage. Help your team by, you know, shooting at those tanks that you can kill even if they only have a tiny amount of hit points. Now, is it always the best for a T-34 to be doing that instead of someone else? No, but in a public match, you take what you can get. That's another case with that Tiger. He's on 20 hit points. Does it take me 15 seconds to reload? Yeah, but I'm getting rid of a gun. Would one of my teammates have finished him off quickly too? Probably in that case, but not always. So you want to get as much damage as you can, but you also want to eliminate the enemy tanks, because that's how you win. You don't win by doing the most damage. Now here I'm going after, I could possibly try and shoot at that M6 or the AMX. I have a choice of my targets. The AMX is more dangerous, higher tier, more health. Get him gone first. The M6 really isn't much of a threat in this match. That Ferdinand is a bit of a threat, but I'm not sure where he's looking, and I know this M6 is here, and this M6 is about a 2-shot kill for me. Or in that case, 3 of our team shot him at about the same time, and I was the one that hit him last and got the kill for 172 damage. That's not a huge damage kill when you're in a T-34, but that's still good. So then there's a T-34 here, shoot at him, I missed that shot. I only ended up missing that 1 shot in this entire match. That Invisi shot on the Panther must have only damaged his tracks or bounced or something. I don't know what it was, I just know at the battle results screen it told me I had only missed 1 shot. As you can see here, my team's holding the hill up there, they're pushing on the forest line. I thought for a second I might be able to help them out in the forest, but then I figured, nah, they've got that. And I'm going around to flank. And basically, I know that guys from the forest will show up and start doing this soon too, but I'm going to start flanking before they show up. I'll probably get more damage this way, and it'll quicken the enemy team's defeat. Right now there's only 4 of them left, and one of those is Artie. Another one is this Panther that I'm about to shoot right here. Nice damage roll on that one. I believe the T-34's gun averages about 400 damage, and sometimes I'd swear I averaged quite a bit more than that. Other times I think it averages 300. And I figure, okay, Ferdinand's on less health. Not sure if I can pen him from there, but let's give it a shot and kill him. So now all that's left is this Panzer V M10, the Panther M10, and the artillery. I really want this arty kill. I'm gonna tell you right now, I really want to kill this arty. If it wasn't for that arty, I might have got out of this without taking any damage. They were the first tank to damage me. Granted, the Panther M10 also damaged me. There's arty. Not bothering to wait for it to aim fully, just taking that shot. Helped out by the fact that I do have a vertical stabilizer on this tank. That's going to be it for this episode of World of Tanks Replays. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate that, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'm sorry that this is also coming up a day late. I was pretty busy yesterday on Friday, so it is coming up on Saturday. I promise next week's will be up on Friday, and I will see you then.